So this little tidbit just came across my desk. And by came across my desk, I mean one of our great supporters on Twitter sent it my way. And it's interesting because I haven't seen anybody cover this, despite the fact that it was this poll was done about 2 days ago. There was 19,800 people who participated in this poll. And the results are peculiar, to say the least. Now, why is that? Because for one, it seems like there's somebody in the Daily Kos who went renegade. So, of course, I made sure to take screenshots of this. But basically, someone in the Daily Kos got tired of not allowing all of the options to be considered when they ran their presidential polls. If you recall, they did have a lot of options, but it was weird because the options included people who weren't running, people who have not announced that they're running, people that you kind of think that they're running based off of news speculation, but they haven't said anything. But there were people who were actually running, like Marianne Williamson, Tulsi Gabbard, and I believe even Andrew Yang. Don't quote me on that. But they weren't even listed as candidates. So this guy decided, or woman, his handle on Daily Kos is the lefty coaster, which probably gives us some inclination as to why he wanted to do a more fair and reasonable poll. So he posted this poll, and the results, well, Bernie Sanders is winning, of course. I think that everybody kind of figured that, 69%. But this is the part that surprised me the most. Tulsi Gabbard is actually polling at 5%, ahead of Kamala Harris, who is polling at 4%, which is really interesting to me, because this is the same Daily Kos. When the link pops up, says Daily Kos on it. There was that Daily Kos poll, the Daily Kos poll that was released, the day that Bernie Sanders announced, or the day after, I think. One of the two had a significant amount of votes as well. But this is 20,000 votes, which is a pretty significant amount. And internet polls, I would say, are probably more reliable sometimes than the polls they do out in the field for various reasons. But just more accessibility gives you a better just gives you a better idea. When people have more, it's like we should increase. The reason that we want to increase access to the polls, like the real polls, the election polls, is because it gives us a better representation of the people whenever someone goes into office, rather than giving better representation to who had access to the polls. Get what I'm saying? So Gabbard is beating everybody except for, surprisingly, and other than Bernie Sanders, the person who came in second is actually Andrew Yang. Andrew Yang came in second at 14% with 2,705 votes. So congratulations to him. It's big news. I think that Andrew Yang has made a significant impact. I think him going on Joe Rogan at an opportune time worked out for him. He's been working very hard. He's been putting in a lot of work, and I think that it's really his work in the independent community, as far as like reaching out to independent news sources. Like I said, went on Joe Rogan, went on Tim Black. Has been engaging with his people on Twitter. I think it bodes well for him in the polls, especially online ones. So once again, and we've seen online popularity, legitimate, real online popularity, not the fictitious Kamala Harris, Hillary Clinton, Joe Biden type of online popularity. Well, more so Kamala and Hillary. I don't even think Joe Biden has online popularity, despite the fact they constantly talk about how popular he is. Marianne Williamson, unfortunately, only got 68%, not enough to garner a percentage. Amy Klobuchar got 76 votes, so not enough to garner a percentage. Did I say 68%? I meant 68 votes. Governor Jay Inslee got 2% with 466. Apparently, it's a guy named John Hickenlooper who announced. Didn't even know that, but he only got 27 votes. But overall, what we've learned is that Well, all isn't what it seems. Well, except for the Bernie Sanders thing. Bernie Sanders is wildly popular. So I wasn't expecting anything different. He won 70% in this poll. By the way, that's a weird consistency. He won 70% in this poll, and he won 70% in the last poll the Daily Kos did. The only things that changed, which I expected, was that when you put Andrew Yang in, when you put Tulsi Gabbard in, included with the other names, that the other numbers fluctuate. So I think, let me verify this, because I accidentally cut that part out of the poll. I didn't mean to. My apologies. I think they talked about Joe Biden. And I thought I cut it out because it wasn't that important. So Joe Biden received, wow. Joe Biden actually receives only 139 votes, 1% of the total vote tally. I think that's telling us something. Maybe he isn't as popular. Maybe he isn't as popular as people think. But this also lets us know, once again, one other thing. Tulsi Gabbard is a lot closer to that top 3 spot than the establishment wants you to believe. And the truth of the matter is, the more popular she's gotten, the more they realize that she can be railroaded with her the allegations of being an Assad quote unquote toady, in the eloquent words of Barry Wise. You can't villainize her for Venezuela because everybody agrees with her. What are you gonna do? Now they're kind of working. So they shut her out, and then they try to embarrass her. Now they're shutting her out again because they realize, holy crap, every time we put this woman on the show, the comments about her are almost unanimously just celebratory about the things that she said. I remember it was one comment I read, one of the most beautiful comments I've read about Tulsi. And you've seen some, people, it's like listening to her talk, listening to her carry her, or seeing her carry herself, her body language, her mannerisms. It's almost poetic the way she goes about her business as a politician. And this one woman said on a comment with the View, from the interview from The View, she said, "I don't know this woman. I've never heard of her before in my life. I've never seen her. But for some reason, I believe everything she says, and I can't help but trust her." I was like, damn, that's real. Because that's how you kind of feel. That's a feeling you get from her. Like she's speaking from, once again, an evolutionary place, a place where she hadn't always resided, but now that's where she's arrived to, given her personal experiences. So congratulations to Tulsi. Congratulations to Andrew Yang as well. And of course, congratulations to Bernie Sanders. It looks like, according to that Daily Kos poll, they are closer to the top 3 than most would have you believe. So, and if anything, maybe this isn't the top 3 for the entire election. It may be more accurate to say that they're the top 3 going into New Hampshire, Iowa. I think those are the first 2 main popular primaries, New Hampshire and Iowa. So everyone else doesn't have to know about them yet. They just have to get on the debate stage, 1, and win Iowa, or place in Iowa, top 4, top 3. Same thing with New Hampshire. Everybody didn't know Bernie Sanders in Iowa. Remember, he still was 15% chance of winning until he won that Iowa caucus, and then the game changed for him. So let's see what happens going into Iowa. Love to know your thoughts about this. Make sure you leave your comments below, like the video, share it, and always remember, more than anything else, find your balance. Peace. Thank you for watching that segment of Mi Casa es Su Casa. Help us reach our goal of 500 patrons. You can do so by donating as little as $1 by clicking on the Patreon link in the description below. Don't forget, join us on Roku and JustNForm. You can follow us on Twitter and Facebook as well. And remember, more than anything else, find your balance. Peace.